So I got the Navigate on Autopilot feature on my model SP100D, just like everybody else who has access to Autopilot. And this comes with the version 42.2, that's the update. And what I wanted to do different from other people is to try the Navigate on Autopilot at night. Yeah, during the day it will be easier for the car, but what about at night? Like, what would the car do? Is it gonna be the same, or is it gonna be more challenging? So let's go ahead and find out. So to activate Navigate on Autopilot, as you can see, it's in beta right now. You have to press for the toggle, and then it gives you like a quick description of that you need to pay attention and what Navigate on Autopilot is. So let's hit yes, and you can also customize how aggressive it can be. So let's tap here, and by default it's set to mild, and if you press on the eye, it kind of gives you some information about like how it does speed-based lane changes. So say like somebody is driving ahead of you and driving slow, then Autopilot will suggest changing the lanes. And if you want to make it so aggressive, you just go to Mad Max, and this is so Elon Musk. So yeah, let's keep it to Mad Max. Let's go hit the highway and see what the Autopilot will do. So I just put Al Cajon, so I'm gonna be driving from the supercharger station to Al Cajon. As you can see, with the Navigate on Autopilot, now you get this new option. So I'm gonna tap on it, and it's gonna activate Navigate on Autopilot, and you can see some of those changes now have the steering wheel icon, which means that those will have Navigate on Autopilot enabled. So let's get this started. So now we're heading on I-805 South, and what I did is I disabled the Navigate on Autopilot just to show you how the regular Autopilot looks like on the highway. So if I pull the lever for the Autopilot twice, Autopilot is now engaged, as you can see. So let me slow the vehicle down a little bit. Let's go to 70 miles per hour, and I'm gonna now enable the Navigate on Autopilot. So I'm gonna press the button and see what happens with those two lines on the side of the car. You hear this nice tone, and now Navigate on Autopilot is engaged. The car automatically gave a turn signal, so it stayed on the same lane. Let me apply some force. So we're on the 805 South, and in about 1.8 miles we need to take the California 52 East towards Al Cajon, as you can see here. So let's look at the instrument cluster, see what happens. So this is a big truck coming next to me, and as you can see, the car detected it. This straight line, the blue one, is the new way to navigate on Autopilot. So I'm just gonna keep my other hand, one on the phone and the other one on the steering wheel. So we're approaching.
In 1 mile, take exit 23 on the right onto California 52 East.
This is a 24, we're approaching a 23. So the car should automatically give a lane switch and then take the exit. So let's see. And this is all done at night. There are no lights here. It's really dark. So we want to see how Autopilot behaves at night. So this is exit 23. So the car should give a right turn signal automatically and take the ramp.
Now take exit 23.
So this is my hand. And then, as you can see,
1,000 feet, take the California 52 East ramp on the left. Now take the California 52 East ramp on the left.
So pretty much the car is driving itself now. This is awesome, like really useful at night. So we're having merging traffic. So let's see what happens. I'm paying full attention just to make sure if anything goes wrong, I'm here, you know, I'm taking over. Confirm lane change to follow route. So let's give a turn signal because this is an exiting lane. Boom. Now we're on California 52 East. Just following the GPS directions, and now I'm getting this notification saying upcoming change lane or lane change in about 1.8 miles. And this is the third time I'm using Autopilot. Like the first one I used it at night. The second one I just did it like an hour ago, and this is like my third time. Confirm lane change. So it's requesting that I move to the left side. So let's do that. Boom. And the car will change lanes, and those are the cars behind me. So I'm far away from them. Really bumpy road. Thank you, California.
In 1 mile, keep left to stay on California 52 East.
So in 1 mile, I have to make a right turn. So, see, this guy is trying to make a turn. All right, good. Apply light pressure. So they are doing some construction on the left side. Construction work, I meant. Yeah, so let's see. So it's really nice, you know.
Now keep left to stay on California 52 East.
All I'm doing is basically making sure, you know, there's nothing wrong going on, but I'm not really putting a lot of effort into driving. I mean, I'm recording, talking, and still paying attention on the road. Light force. So what you want to do, you want to keep one hand on the steering wheel all the time, so you don't get this message every minute or so. And we're still going east, so in 10 miles we should take the exit on the right. Other than that, I mean, we're just going straight. And because we're going slower than traffic, Autopilot isn't suggesting we change lanes. So let's try to go a little bit over. So I'm just gonna go to 75 miles per hour to try to catch up to some traffic. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to do that. So what I did, I changed the destination to Grossman Center, which is in La Mesa. It's a little bit closer. So as you can see, now this is the regular Autopilot. Let's enable navigate on Autopilot. Boom. So we have a car ahead of us. We're approaching it, so Autopilot should suggest lane change. And there you go. So let's give a left turn signal. And we're back. and that's the car we're gonna overtake. The poor Prius. So we keep going ahead. So let's try to do it again. So I'm just gonna give a signal on the right, kind of forcing the car into the car ahead of me, and wait for Autopilot to suggest a lane change. So we're approaching it. Oh, this guy that's very dangerous. All right, so nothing yet. So maybe it's because I kind of took the car on this lane. So I'm not sure why it's not telling me to overtake. Oh wow, okay, now confirm lane change. So we're going on the right side. So we're very close to that vehicle. But thanks to Mad Max, no problem. We can still overtake it using Autopilot. In the previous version, that was not possible. The car has to have a long distance from everything else before it can switch lanes. So we're just going straight ahead. And I guess the reason why the car decided to suggest the right side to switch to is because we're approaching, you know, making a right turn. So I guess instead of going to the left, then switching 2 lanes to the right, the car decided that the best route would be just to stick to the right. I mean, that's just my guess. So 2 miles, we're gonna have to take the 125 south. We're still going at 75 miles per hour. It's pitch black, like no light, no nothing. Okay, the car is slowing down because the car ahead of me is slowing down, so requesting lane change, but as you can see it turned into red. That's because there was a car next to me in the blind spot. So confirm lane change, but then there's this car coming, so I'm not gonna do that. So Autopilot can't figure out what this thing is. So it's a car pulling a trailer.
In 1 mile, take exit 15 on the right onto California 125 south.
So the thing is, like in 1 mile, I'm gonna take right, but the Autopilot is suggesting going left. So, you know what? I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna stay in this lane, just to make it easy. Then let's wait and see. So it's almost there. So now let's see what will happen. So the car should basically follow the 125 south.
Now take exit 15 on the right.
And it should slow down. So let's see. If there is one thing that Autopilot does pretty well, is sticking in the lane. It really does it way better than myself. I really like that. I mean, it's computer, right? So it knows exactly how to stick to the lane. So let's confirm a lane change. There you go. And then let's make another left change. right, so far so good, you know. I can definitely see the point why you need to pay attention because of all these merging lanes. You know, some cars, depending on how they drive, they may kind of like be in your way if you're going too fast with the autopilot. And because we're still on the highway, autopilot is still engaged. I mean, that's nice. And I can't even hold my phone. Very bumpy road. That's why I like to stick to the interstate highways. Those California highways are not so good. Okay, so confirm lane change. Let's do that. Because this guy is slow. All right. Okay, for some reason the car slowed down. I'm not sure why. Oh, it's merging lanes. So,
in 1 mile,
interesting.
Take the exit on the right toward Fletcher Parkway.
And we're behind this dude again. So I'm gonna stop the video because we're exiting the highway. What Autopilot does in its current form is it allows you to change lanes on the highway. So let's say you're moving from one highway to another highway, Autopilot will automatically give the signal and take the ramp to move to the other highway based on the route you're taking. So when using navigation, you can set the destination, and then Autopilot will be kind of integrated into the navigation itself. So it will figure out, like, in order for you to continue to navigate, you need to change to another highway, and Autopilot will basically follow that route, which is very smart to do. But you still have to give the turn signal, so you still have to give the right turn or the left turn. In the future, Elon Musk said that this won't be necessary, but they are waiting for some approval or something like that to do that. So right now you still have to give the turn signal. In the future, you can just give pre-authorization for the car to automatically do it for you, which is kind of similar to how we enabled Navigate on Autopilot. The other thing that it does for you is it allows you to change the lanes based on the car ahead of you. So let's say the car ahead of you is driving slow, you can basically Autopilot will suggest changing the lane to bypass that car or overtake that car. Based on how aggressive you set it to be, it can keep suggesting changing lanes. So Mad Max is the highest setting. So guys, that was Navigate on Autopilot at night. I hope you enjoyed the video. For me, it feels the same whether driving at night or driving during the day. I didn't see much of a difference. And I look forward for the version where you don't have to switch lanes using the turning signal stock. But till then, we have Navigate on Autopilot. So see you in the next video. If you like, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video. Thank you and take care.